very, very symbolic. I am at Kingsway Mall. Now, Kingsway is the main street and probably the biggest street of the capital of Lesotho, Maseru. So this place is called Kingsway Mall. Here, you find a company that was established somewhere around 2013-14. It's called Leseli Hub. But they have made huge strides, huge in the sense that they are now opening up the company because they want to go beyond their own capabilities, and they realize that to do that, you need to go out and bring in other shareholders, of course, with capital that you will, at the end, pay dividends. I'm talking to Ntsukunyane Matete. At 31, you've gone from establishing a company to getting approval to open it up for other shareholders. But let's start with why you decided to go into outdoor advertising.
The main reason we went into outdoor, and this was around, we started building billboards in 2015. Although incorporated in 2013, we started building in 2015. And we've been, personally, my partner, we've been interested in that space even before we registered the business.
Outdoor advertising means that you are a conduit through which companies that ordinarily wouldn't do business in Lesotho, or at least would enjoy the market without necessarily giving back to it, would begin to give back. How is that working for you? Are you getting a lot of those, particularly South African companies that export into Lesotho, that Lesotho imports from? Are they advertising on Leseli Hub?
Let me make a bold statement and say, just one company that we approached, per month they make 7.5 million from the Lesotho market. That one company based in South Africa, no offices here, no employees here. And that was our biggest first client that we signed in 2018.
The offer, it's the end, it's the tail end of a very long process in Lesotho, because we do not have capital markets.
Exactly,
in Lesotho.
exactly.
Tell us how it happened.
So what happened is 2019 we approached, 2018 we approached Itau. So Itau was like, okay guys, we'll work with you, the site in Lesotho. But then they were like, okay, we need billboards in the Free State, we need billboards in the Eastern Cape. Oh, by the way, are you in Botswana? Are you in Swaziland? We're like, no, we're not. So we could only cater for them in Lesotho. And so what happened is that we actually realized that, okay, we have to go beyond our borders now, right? And we also talked to the likes of Simba. Simba was just like, we only work with multinational companies. So you guys, I mean, Lesotho, yes, it's a market for us, but it's too small. Get to Equatorial Africa, get to North Africa, then we'll talk. So we started restructuring the company to meet this demand that was actually there. We approached Central Bank. Central Bank was like, no, start a trade. Once you are done with trade, you'll come to us.
To do what, a trade?
All right, so there are regulations to this thing. There are guidelines. Ministry of Trade and Industry has its own regulations. Central Bank of Lesotho have their own regulations. So you have to meet both guidelines and regulations from these two institutions. But eventually they called me in for an interview to say, okay, we are finally happy with the prospectus, and we want you to be fully aware of the compliance that you have to follow as a company, and this is what's going to be happening. Then they walked me through all of those, and they basically signed it off and published it. It's a journey we started back in 2019. And I remember Central Bank was particularly happy. They were like, okay, this is a very good prospectus. Can you guys even allow us for other companies that will come after, so that we give them this to use, and so that they can use it as a template.
Sell me the share offer.
The share offer right now, one share is 206 rand, 67 cents. Then total number of shares that are available to the public, it's 150,000 shares. So the total amount of money that we want to raise is around 31 million. The 31 million is going to be used for expansion, not just in Lesotho, but in 54 African countries. And that's a 20-year plan. First 3 years it's Lesotho. After those 3 years it's the SADC region, Equatorial Africa, the likes of Gabon, DRC, Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. Then post that, we're moving into North Africa, into the biggest African country. We want to move to Algeria and the surrounding countries, Morocco, Tunisia. It's going to be a long journey. But the main reason we're talking about Africa, Africa right now is the fastest growing economy. We want to be part of that growth. We have new towns that are coming up in the DRC. We want to go there in those places, have billboards in those places. But Leseli Hub is not just about billboards. We're a marketing company that is interested in owning and operating advertising platforms. So it's just that we started with billboards. So when we're going to be moving into TV, we're going to be moving into print media, we're going to be moving into online platforms. And what we're hoping will happen locally is that other companies in those spaces, in print media, in radio, will open up their companies. And then we as the Leseli Hub will go and say, okay, we want a stake in Africa, we want a stake in Lesotho Times, we want a stake in Public Eye. That's the whole outlook of the company, and that's how we want to set up the Leseli Hub going forward. Right?
Is there a cap on how many shares I can buy, or how much I can buy? Because I mean, if I feel like now I want to come in and
we initially had a cap, right? But what happened is that the first week that we opened, we had an offer that was more than the cap was 1,000 shares per individual or per company. But then we had some people that came and like, no, we want to go beyond. We're like, no, you can't, right? And then it kept happening. It kept happening. And then mid-October, I got a call from one of the local entities, a very huge company. They're like, look, we want to put in 7.2 million. We're like, no, we can't take it. We can only take 200,000. And the guy tells me, no, I went to my board of directors and told them that we want to come in. But no, they're not going to put exactly. And they're like, we've even calculated how much 200,000, how much of a stake that is, and we are too big for that. So went back to the regulators, made them aware. Like, okay, no, it's fine. We can amend it. So we've amended our prospectus. We only now have a minimum, which is 10 shares and no cap. So it means it's a lot of going on.
So if you have 31 million,
yeah,
you can buy all of the 150,000 shares. This is Ntsukunyane Matete. I said he's 31. All of this is coming from a 31-year-old Mosotho who wants to have not a local company, not company Yeso. He wants to have a multinational company that was born in Lesotho. If you have 31 million or you have 206 maluti, you can buy either one share or 150,000 shares.
Highly Lesotho mona, I own a lead. No, keep